All right, the demotion has started, and it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 113th Annual Presidential Demotion Meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Yes, you heard that right. The 113th Annual Gathering of Oakland Rotarians to celebrate the demotion of their president. I am past President Ed Jelen and invite you to join me, past Presidents Ken Richardson and Lorna Padilla Marcus, and the other past presidents of the Rotary Club of Oakland in celebrating the leadership of Club President, soon to be past President, Dudley Thompson. And welcoming him to his new life as a past president of Oakland Rotary. Ken?
Before we begin, a couple of items of Rotary business. First, let me introduce President Dudley's friends and family. First, we have the club's First Lady and President Dudley's spouse, Concha Delgado Gaitan. Concha, please, you can remain standing if you would. Concha, please also accept our sincere gratitude and apologies for the many, many hours of Dudley's life that we stole. I understand we also have a group of Dudley's guests, and will you please stand? There you go. How about a louder applause for Concha and the special members of Dudley's fan club. And now to all Rotarians present, please join me in reciting our Rotary Vision Statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And now, let us get down to business. Past President Lorna.
Thank you, Ken. And now, to the evocative strains of the Iowa Corn Song, I invite all Rotarians and guests to stand and cheer as past presidents of the Rotary Club of Oakland accompany into the California Ballroom the favorite son of Belmont, Iowa, the president and soon-to-be past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland, Dudley Thompson. President Dudley, where are you? His vaccination certificate? He forgot his vaccination certificate? Oh, I see. Well, that does create a bit of a problem.
Oh boy, oh boy. You know, Lorna, Ken, we've got to move forward with this demotion. I mean, we can't demote President Dudley for want of a vaccination certificate. Then what happens to President-elect Mary?
Okay, I think I got a workaround.
Excellent, excellent. You can always count on an accountant to get you out of a jam. So, let's have a quick show of hands. How many people want to let Dudley in without his vaccination certificate? All opposed? No. The ayes have it. We can proceed with the demotion. And now, let me welcome to our Zoom meeting from the wilds of Peoria, Arizona, past President Iris Brody Lopez. Iris?
President Ed, can you hear me?
We can hear you a little bit, Iris.
Only a little bit?
Now better.
Okay. Ready to go?
Needs a little volume here. Are you there, Iris?
I am. A high point of President Dudley's... Better? Okay, a high point of President Dudley's administration, in fact, I would have to say, the high point of President Dudley's administration was his appearance on the cover of the August 2021 issue of Rotary magazine. This appearance was a landmark event in the history of our club. But keep in mind that no prior issue of Rotary magazine, going back to its first issue in 1911, has ever featured on its cover a president of the Rotary Club of Oakland.
Iris, I didn't know that. Truly historic.
But Ed, please note, the Rotary magazine is playing catch up here. This is not the first time that our President Dudley was featured in the national media. Yes, the legend of President Dudley begins 1,885 miles away from our meeting place today in the agricultural hamlet of Belmont, Iowa. It was there on January 9th, 1951, that Dudley made his first appearance, and not long after that, he made his first print media appearance in the Iowa Farmer Monthly. Wasn't he a cutie? The pride of Belmont. President Dudley, to commemorate that auspicious appearance, let me call upon past President Marlo Seligman to present this pin identifying you as the past president of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Congratulations.
Dudley, I just want to say the best thing about being president is being past president.
Yay!
Pin, well deserved.
Well, soon to be past President Dudley, when you are not proudly wearing the pin you just received, I suggest that you place it on the nightstand next to your bed. And then, should you ever wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, wondering whether the speaker is going to show up or show up on time, or desperately trying to remember who the speaker is going to be, you can gaze upon the pin you just received that you are no longer the president of the club, but rather a past president, no longer responsible for such details. And now to recall other appearances by President Dudley on the covers of American magazines, let me introduce past presidents Linda Chu and Charlie Adams.
President Dudley, you'll recall that during the COVID pandemic that challenged your administration, your Rotary volunteers suspended in their classroom attendance to the transitional kindergarten students of the Oakland Unified School District.
However, President Dudley, utilizing your leadership skills you had developed in your outdoor youth activities, you encouraged the Kinder Prep Committee to create alternative ways to accomplish their mission. The committee responded with a summer book program that provided 3,576 books in English, Spanish, Chinese, Arabic, and Vietnamese languages to 447 transitional kindergarten students. In addition, the committee conducted field trips for 16 TK classes to the Oakland Zoo and trips for 2 TK classes to the Oakland Fairyland. Also, the committee provided 250 Lakeshore Learning gift cards to 36 TK teachers. In recognition of these activities during the COVID pandemic, you, President Dudley, were featured on the cover of Ranger Raccoon magazine. And now, to commemorate these achievements and the recognition of your undaunted leadership, we present to you your past President's Badge.
So Dudley, wear this badge at every Rotary meeting and event to remind your brother and sister Rotarians that you are not just a Rotarian, but a past President Rotarian. And now, please welcome past Presidents Carla Betts and Sean Marks.
Hi, Dudley. So, President Dudley, do you remember or have you thought of all the places in the world that you've had an impact on? And the World Community Service Committee has historically sponsored many projects in Asia, Africa, Central America, South America, and even Oakland. Well, during your administration, the work continues, even in the face of COVID, and supporting all sorts of projects around the world. Water, water, water. That's what we do. And enough about the National Geographic with Dudley. Oh, here it comes. There you are. Hey, the National Geographic.
Love it. So normally at this point in your demotion, we'd present you with banners from Rotary clubs around the world that are collected by our members as they visit the clubs. However, with the pandemic and COVID, we haven't gone anywhere. So in lieu of that, this year, we've collected an assembly of banners from the Rotary First Five, the first 5 Rotary clubs in the world. In addition, we collected something very special. Dudley is an esteemed graduate from Drake's. Yes, Drake's Brewery here in Oakland. As well as Drake's University. And so we've collected your university banner. Go Bulldogs! Oh, okay. I'd like to invite to the podium Linda Busnecker and Robert Kidd.
Here we go. Hi, Dudley. Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Are you having a good time?
I am having a good time.
Yeah, good. Did you know, President Dudley, that under your leadership, the Business Development Committee promoted business opportunities among the club's members and within the greater Oakland community?
I didn't know that.
Good. Well, I'm telling you.
Yes, Dudley, and in doing so, your Business Development Committee asserted our club's leadership role in the business community of Oakland.
And, Dudley, you almost single-handedly revived the after-work cocktail hour within the community of Oakland.
So Dudley, in recognition of these great achievements, what are we going to do? We're going to present you now the celebrated Rotary Club gavel. Stay seated. To commemorate your leadership of the business of our Rotary Club and to remind you of how you struggled from week to week to assert control over that herd of cats known as the weekly meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland. You may now stand and receive your gavel. And now, and I know you've all been looking forward to this, and now I bring to the podium past President John Protopappas.
Better. During President Dudley's inspired leadership, the Audiovisual Committee was magically transformed into the Meeting Support Committee. This name change recognized the monumental efforts of this committee to enhance the audience experience during our weekly Zoom and hybrid meetings. President Dudley, your work in leading this effort has not gone unnoticed. To commemorate the many sleepless nights that you spent in improving our system, let me present to you the cords and wires that were salvaged from the old audiovisual system. From our garage to yours. Oh yeah, wait a minute. And now, let me call to the podium past President Cess Butner.
Oh, that's great. This is a great time when you become past president, isn't it? Yeah. President Dudley, during your presidency, our Rotary Club defied the COVID pandemic and survived the COVID pandemic outdoors. we try to do it outdoors, at baseball games. We've had a couple of baseball games, pickleball contests, golf tournaments, bicycle rides on the roadways, and hikes. Your leadership has not gone unremarked and in the recreation community. We got a slide here that shows us. That's what you look like, the outsider. Dudley the outsider, Rotary Club president. To commemorate this fun aspect of your Rotary Club administration, I present the gift from the past presidents, the gift you honored most. You'll have to open it and see what it is. But I think you'll enjoy this for all that you've done to make Rotary fun for us this year. Thank you. Yeah, let's see what it is.
It's a swing caddy. It's a electronic device that actually tells me how far I hit a golf ball.
You see?
It does not go beyond 150 yards.
Yeah. This is, along with your electronics, along with his electronics for his fun, too, for his golf tournament. And now let me call on past President David Stein to do what we call
I'll tell you
all
what.
of your accomplishments over the years.
It's 8:30 to 5, and it's going to be Monday to Thursday until you.
Thank you, past President Sess, soon-to-be past President Dudley, fellow Rotarians and guests. As we all know, President Dudley is generous in sharing praise, in acknowledging the work of the many Rotarians, all of you, who have contributed to a truly great year. Last week, President Dudley thanked the many Rotarians who contributed to Oakland Rotary during his presidential term. But great organizational success requires many contributions, and it also requires great leadership. We all know the Warriors' phrase, strength in numbers, and we also know the Warriors have Steph Curry, a great leader. The other half of the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson, is the second most important Thompson in the Bay Area, second to our president, Dudley Thompson. The Warriors have the Splash Brothers. Oakland Rotary has President Dudley, AKA the Rotary Cocktail. Or for those of you who are old enough to get the Reggie Jackson reference, as I like to call him, the straw that stirs the drink. And of course, behind every good man is a great woman. Thank you, Concha, for all your support and all you've done. So what makes a great cocktail? Well, President Dudley has told us many times, it starts with gin, not vodka. And the gin of Oakland Rotary is fellowship and friendship. It all starts with many opportunities members had to share time and experiences with their fellow members and families. As Seth just told you, we attended A's games, Roots soccer games, rode bikes, hiked, kayaked, and had a wonderful movie night at the Grand Lake Theater to see a premiere of Evolutionary Blues. Rotarians also deepened their friendship through programs hosted by the Business Development Committee, programs that featured Malik Homer, an expert on referral marketing, and Jenny Bates, San Francisco Rotarian and speaker on motivational interviewing. And we held our first Shark Tank Thursday meeting. We had mixers at Lyndon Keith Uriarte's, Nito's backyard, and a mixer at Giovanna's home just a week ago. Now, every good drink, or a lot of good drinks, also have a touch of bitters. And COVID spikes this year were our bitters. We had to return to Zoom-only meetings twice during President Dudley's year. Who knew the most memorable phrases of 21-22 would be, "You're on mute. Can we get her on the screen?" We recommend that you view the meeting in speaker view. And of course, those of you in the ballroom, would you please be quiet? Your noise makes background noise and it makes it hard for people on Zoom to hear. In the old days, the AV committee was two Rotarians trying to figure out how to turn on a microphone. Now, the Meeting Support Committee is the secret to the success of our meetings. Sound, lights, camera, action. Nothing happens without our great Meeting Support Committee. Give them a hand. And even with the challenges COVID presented, our club managed to hold weekly meetings all year long. The programs featured 46 speakers. Reflecting the club's membership, these speakers were a diverse lot: 22 women, 24 men, LGBTQ, African Americans, Hispanics, South Asians, Asian Americans, and Indigenous Americans. The topics were equally diverse, ranging from Oakland City government to U.S. government, to conflicts in Ukraine, to offenses committed against California's indigenous people and Chinese immigrants, to the crisis in affordable housing, to speakers on the revolution occurring in college athletics, and a young African American making her way into the elite world of ballet. Our DEI committee, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, in line with the recommendations of Rotary International, engaged in preparing a multi-year action plan with concrete steps to foster even deeper belonging in our club. 27 Oakland Rotarians participated in the DEI committee, and 119 Oakland Rotarians completed the satisfaction survey, which will be used to build a concrete action plan for the future. And our own District 5170 has highlighted our work and invited us to participate in the district committee's 3-year initiative to strengthen diversity, equity, and inclusion. Membership continued to move forward even through the pandemic. With various programs and efforts, we managed to add 34 new Rotarians, which will help keep our membership base strong into the future. Now, for those of you martini drinkers, you know a little dry vermouth is critical, and at Oakland Rotary, a critical agreement to a great year is service. And service requires a lot of willing hands, and it also requires money. This year, under President Dudley, Oakland Rotary had a fabulous year for the Oakland Rotary Endowment. Over $125,000 net raised at the gala. Another $80,000 raised through bell ringers and gifts. $50,000 raised for Feed the Hungry. You put it all together, and we raised over $250,000 this year at Oakland Rotary. Wow. So what was our hands-on work, and how did we spend the money? Well, the Enterprise Institute got re-going with over 150 high school juniors from 3 Oakland schools. 80 expressed interest, and 12 were chosen to be peer counselors for next year. The Enterprise Institute conducted 2 informational meetings and 1 all-day training for peer counselors at the POW camp in Oakland with 12 students and 8 Rotarians. The HOPE program has 6 students and 6 mentors, and is adding 2 more students this summer, and is looking for 2 mentors. So if anyone is interested in mentoring a young person, please see the HOPE committee. The HOPE students were treated to Warriors games. They're going to A's game and a picnic, and attending a Rotary meeting this summer. Joel, we have Joel in this field, who's mentored by Ken Richardson, will be a high school senior next year. Jasmine, who's mentored by Catherine Coleman, will be attending Deerfield Academy. Layla, who's mentored by Rotarian Teresa Whalen, is a high school honor roll student. Drayan, who's mentored by Gary Flaxman, graduated and will be attending San Diego State in the fall. And Solomon and Irvin are mentored by Tom Lamone and Jesse Schmidt, and they're both doing very well in school. Our Cerrone Lena Committee, our other scholarship committee, was rebranded this year as the Oakland Rotary Scholarship Committee to better reflect the mission and activities of the committee. It funded scholarships and provided mentors for 10 new deserving students in conjunction with the Great Expectations program in Oakland Promise. These 10 students all received scholarships for $2,000 a year for 4 years. It also presented cash awards to 10 teachers who were nominated by their students. We're continuing to mentor 50 students. 7 of our scholarship students were placed in summer internships with Rotarian businesses. And the scholarship committee also engaged with the DEI committee to help better serve the student demographic that we serve. Our high school program, Interact, had a number of great activities as well. They provided buses to send 60 Oakland Interactors to a fall leadership conference in San Jose. They funded attendance fee for 7 Oakland Interactors to attend the President's Winter Retreat in Saratoga. Our Interactors served as area monitors and provided cleanup services at this year's Unity Council Oakland Dia Los Muertos Festival. And they also helped the Diamond District with its Oktoberfest, helping them remove trash after the event. The Interactors created colorful drawings that were mailed to senior citizens and troops overseas and others just in need of a smile. And they helped with UC Berkeley Egg Fest. They created Chewy toys for dogs in need. And they also did their own fundraising. We're really building the next generation of community service with our Interact program. We also reached out to those youngest among us through the Kinder Prep program. $250 gift cards were given to 36 TK teachers to enable them to buy educational materials. Over $3,000 grant was made for arts to support arts programs in the schools. Science kits were provided to 18 classrooms. And we had field trips to the Oakland Zoo and Children's Fairyland for 20 classes. And we delivered 4,800 books to TK students so they could build their own library in their own home to help them support their reading. Community service. One of our great community service activities is the Laney Food Pantry program, helping deal with young people with food security issues. In partnership with Laney College, the Food Pantry Committee packed bags of food for students every Tuesday except when the college was on break. Every week, Rotarians packed 140 to 170 bags of food, including fresh items from the Alameda Community Food Banks. And Rotarians also did other volunteer activities like help clean up the Police Athletic League camp. Community Service Committee made grants this year of over $50,000 to 14 different organizations in our community. I'm just going to highlight a few for you. In the social justice area, we made a $2,000 grant to City Slickers Farm for them to build a second chicken coop. We made a $5,000 grant to Bananas to provide backpack for school children in East Oakland Public Schools. In the area of grants for arts, we gave $2,500 to fund art supplies for programs at underserved inner city schools, and $2,500 to Youth Beat for a computer for editing media produced by Oakland High School students. In the environmental area, we gave a $3,000 grant to the Lake Merritt Institute to provide for an outboard motor for their boat to gather trash in the middle of Lake Merritt, and we gave $7,000 to Bike East Bay to help support a van to transport bikes. And the Community Service Committee led our drive for Feed the Hungry, where we raised a record $51,300, which was donated to several different food organizations in Alameda County to, again, help serve those people who are in great need. Our community service also donated coats and gloves to people in the community, and recently, working with the Chinatown Chamber and the Chamber and the Rotary Club in San Francisco, we distributed safety kits to hundreds of Chinese seniors, improving their safety in the face of the rise in hate crimes. President Dudley launched an environmental committee for the first time, building on his commitment to the environment. In November, 17 Rotarians attended the inaugural committee meeting. The committee will focus on global warming and climate change. It started by conducting a survey of our own membership to determine how we could reduce our own carbon footprint. In the years to come, his commitment to the environment and the creation of the environmental committee is sure to be part of President Dudley's wonderful legacy. Dudley's focus on the environment didn't stop there. Our speaker's gift this year was a contribution to the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, and we had several speakers address the club on a variety of environmental topics. looking internationally, I tried to figure out what would be a good thing to talk about in terms of cocktails, and I don't know, is an Olive International, or should I do a bad James Bond imitation of shaken but not stirred? But whatever thing you want to do as a cocktail spin-off, let's talk about international service. After jumping from $78,000 in our contribution to Rotary International Foundation 2 years ago, last year we raised a record $166,000. You can take a look at the chart and see how those lines move. It's hard to imagine what was going to happen this year, and the answer, another record-breaking year, $171,000 raised for the RI Foundation. And the result of that, in part, is that our World Community Service Committee had its largest budget ever, $125,000 for projects around the world. There's so many to cover, I'm going to touch on just a couple. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we provided a computer that helps blind women at a university learn to read, take notes, answer calls. That's a $100 fine to somebody. Who is that? That's going to cost you. Okay, and helps them take notes, answer calls, as well as do other types of computer work. It reduced the dropout rate from 98% to 0. Grants were given to several WASH projects. WASH is water, sanitation, and hygiene. It's one of the 7 areas of focus of Rotary International. Our WASH projects were in El Salvador, Uganda, and Chile. In Guatemala, we supported Voices de Manos update for climate change, where youth were trained to educate farmers on techniques to handle the effect of climate change. We provided wheelchairs through the Wheelchair Foundation to those in need in Mexico. We provided books and school supplies for youth in Jordan and South Africa. We worked with the Seattle Club and a Rotarian malaria nonprofit and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, providing funds to eliminate malaria in Uganda. And of course, this year was disrupted internationally by the war in Ukraine, and Rotarians responded. We supported by a $15,000 anonymous grant. We contributed $33,000 to the RI Disaster Relief Fund for Ukraine, and we also donated $4,000 to the World Community Kitchen to support the relief effort in Ukraine. All I can say is, President Dudley, your leadership, wow, what a year, what a cocktail. We couldn't have done it without your great leadership, so thank you, President Dudley. Thank you. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce past President Mary Rutzer.
As all of you will recall, at this point in the proceedings on demotion day, we present the outgoing president with a mayoral proclamation. But I'm not going to read it because guess who's here today? Mayor Livy Schaaf.
Oh, thank you for such a warm welcome. I could not miss this opportunity. I ran away from trying to, save the A's and develop the waterfront and all the mayoral duties, but from one almost former mayor to an almost former president. Dudley, I couldn't miss this opportunity to very personally, not just on behalf of the city of Oakland, but as a recovering Rotarian. I know I'm officially still a member, but my attendance used to be much better. It doesn't surprise me at all that you achieved all those amazing accomplishments, particularly the ones around children. When I was an active Rotarian in the mid-90s, with so many of you and so many friendships that I still cherish to this day. I saw just how dedicated you were to this vision of helping Oakland's children and lifting them up and bringing opportunity to everyone. So I am not just here, in my formal role as mayor, but as someone who's actually known and loved and appreciated who you are as a person and as a leader. So thank you. I am not going to read all these whereases because it's basically, the Reader's Digest version of David Stein's very excellent speech, but I will get to the punchline. Whereas, on behalf of the people of Oakland, I commend Dudley Thompson for his commitment to the Rotary Club of Oakland and our city, and now, therefore, I, Libby Schaff, Mayor of the City of Oakland, California, do hereby proclaim the day, June 30th, 2022, as Dudley Thompson Day in the City of Oakland.
It is my honor to introduce you to the man of the hour, the man of the day, soon to be past president, Rotary President Dudley Thompson.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, past presidents. I'm allowed 2 sentences. One of them I'm going to use because, of course, I forgot to introduce Concha the first meeting. So, Concha, thank you. My second sentence is just, it's been a great year. I appreciate your support. It's been an honor. And I'm going to call up Mary Jiang, because I already rang this bell. Would you please ring the bell? President-elect and now President, Mary Jiang of the Rotary Club of Oakland. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to mention that next week, July 7th, we will be dark. Don't come here, won't be open. But my inauguration is July 14th. I'd like to invite all of you guys to come for my induction as president, including Mayor Libby Schaff. Okay, and for my first official presidential act, I now adjourn the meeting.